eat them all the time. All right? Trust me. Listen. You want the money. Take a bite. Come here. Just nibble.
Is food poisoning covered by
Yeah.
a Fishtank insurance policy? Sure hope so.
What's it going to be?
Yeah.
You going to do it? Okay. Top prize gets 4 fish bucks. Runner-up gets...
See if they are beef franks.
Runner-up gets 1. All right? And don't worry, we got an extra plate. John,
This money is for the cameraman.
this money's for charity. Here you go, Letty. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, you're going to gobble those up. Vance, big Vance, a nice heaping plate for you, my man. Thank you. Daniel.
You guys gonna be able to do math as you go? That's gonna be
Yum yum time.
My lecture for the most part, if you think about it.
Times multiplication or
Josie, it's time to expand that gut. All right?
Well, when I got everybody's attention, but basically, I just wanted to. I was just curious how you guys are gonna count all of the hot dogs. Who
Go ahead and start.
eats the most? Okay.
It's based on remaining, so they start with 30.
Cool.
Is there a time limit? Yeah, let's do
do I have to swallow?
2 hours. 1 hour. 1 hour? Caminos, what do you think for time here?
Man, 34.
How long does it take to get through this many wieners?
Took 15 minutes to make.
Took 15 minutes to make.
Hot dogs are made out of pig lips and ask for
time you
a
thinking?
good shout out New Bedford.
What do we think, an hour time?
Yeah, like
Chris?
30. He has like
We'll say 30 minutes.
already.
We'll say 4. We'll do 30-minute challenge.
A minute, a hot dog.
Shout out to my friend Josie for handling all those dogs.
So has any of you guys ever talked to like a?
Oh man, that's disgusting.
Should we give the girls a handicap? Say that their 80% counts for a guy's 100%? Okay, that's the handicap. Okay? So girls, you have it's almost equal footing now.
Yo, do you have a money manager at that point? So
I had-
get
well-
into my discourse a little bit.
The money manager that you recommended, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Goldstriker has a bid of him running a hot dog on Lips Hebrew National, JJ.
But to be quite honest, I don't quite understand what the money manager's doing because I just don't have that level of access, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably better for you, man. If you think about it. So, yeah, you have too much money, and then you got all these guys to manage. How much is on
Start sucking
the
those wieners down, retards.
final? If someone makes it 6 weeks, we're the winner now.
30,000 right now. Yeah.
Last time I saw it was only 20K.
Yeah. That's big money. We're probably gonna bump it up too.
Can he be one of the contestants?
No. He said 30,000 is nothing for Caminos.
No, I know. But I've got so much access to his brain.
We'll do some private sessions with you.
Yeah, no, yep. So, no, essentially, I just asked him Sam about the money manager because I was asked to inquire about one. I'm not at Sam's level. Sam's ready for one.
I mean, publicly. But you're the grand master when it comes to dollars and cents.
In a nutshell, okay. So if you understand it, though, you don't necessarily need one, and it's not too complicated. Basically, it is what it sounds like. As you guys are wolfing down these hot dogs, I was just gonna break down that I took notes from actually Elizabeth Carroll is located
I
in
personally
Portsmouth.
prefer the
She's
snow
the
dog
money
eating
manager.
challenge, but you do.
Typically, they
drop your
work
dogs,
with
sir.
like older individuals, maybe set up by the family members as they're trying to just keep their
Hot dog eating
estates
challenge,
going and
drink
everything
water
like
when you
that.
do these. It helps
So
with the
if you can
stomach.
imagine, I was going through like financial shifts, and I was asked to ask about a financial manager, and I took some notes
Daniel is
at
going
the
to crush
time
this. He's
that I
used
wanted to
eating
share with
dogs.
you guys. And basically, the curious thought was to point out that managing your finances can be stressful.
You can do this.
And
You need
that's
the
what I was
protein to
gonna
fight
bring down
Anissa.
to you guys.
Fuck.
That what I was given from her.
Drop me that, bro.
That sense.
Oh.
The hot dog is
No, okay.
okay.
Gross hot dog, unwanted animal parts.
Oh.
The texture.
Encased in intestines.
Yeah.
Okay, how many have you eaten so far?
One.
No, I'm not even done with the first one. Just keep spinning them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
No, you guys are good.
This
You guys are
event is
good.
based an architect-filled chow-down
It's
ladies.
kind of hard for me to ask questions while you're eating, so I'm going to refrain from asking questions.
I think you should ask some questions.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair. So you guys get how whether or not that kicks up or not. For some reason, it's at 30K. I don't know why you guys are lucky. I would have just kept it at 10K. But you guys are competing for 30,000. So basically, probably what he has going on is he's getting his contact from his money manager, and they're telling him after they've ran all the numbers for him, where he's at as far as what they have, and then what they're gonna be able to do for you guys through the winnings, right? So when I was talking to the money manager, I'm not quite making income where it's like continuously active, whereas
Give
I'm
the neckbeard some hot
necessarily
dogs.
I just had a shift, so I had to go ahead and ask what the heck is going on there. So basically, it goes like this: there's 3 basic considerations I want you guys to have.
Daniel, this is Earth People's
Written
birthright
down.
time to shine, King.
We're
Make
going
your
to consider
ancestors
the
proud.
first one as just your net worth. That's the first idea.
Nick, can you shut up? I am trying to listen to Letty swallow these hogs.
And then,
I'm not crying.
You got this.
let's do that.
If you want to win,
the
use
second
the
one?
blender to make hot dog juice.
The blender doesn't fucking work.
We're gonna stick with just focusing on
That's wolf.
net worth.
You doing okay?
Oh, you guys are wild. Alright, so
It's a little glizzy goblin.
what would you guys think
Double
that would have had
fisting
to do with
like a pro.
anything
I
at that
know.
point? Alright, John, go ahead.
From what I know, what net worth means is everything that has value that you own. So it could be a business, how much the business worth, your car, your house, how much your yearly income is. It's just everything all together.
What else could you own that isn't an asset?
That's not an asset.
Letty so kawaii de zuti.
You know, so is a business considered an asset or no?
Depends. Some businesses are not
Stop
even
this
set
man
up
from
to
talking
be
no one
an
but John
asset.
cares.
They're made to be a liability.
What about a trust? Would a trust count as an asset or no?
Here, just gonna stand here.
Yeah,
Just gonna stand right here.
yeah.
Right here. This is good right here. Perfect, John. Nice. So, read the question: is a business an asset, and what else could you own that's not necessarily that list of things that you said there, John?
It's getting close.
Okay.
It's getting close. Debt.
Debt.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
You could own debt, right? And this is part of net worth.
Okay.
All right. So on your Excel, good question. Please ask questions.
They're
where you
crashing
can
the
do
economy.
How do you
Inflation and
get into
unemployment.
debt?
Soon prepare more.
Good question. Literally everything that has to do with typically contracts.
John
are
needs to
gonna-
get
gonna
punished
set you
and
up
pay
with
that
that.
now.
So
No,
this
is
is
boring much.
you're trying to finance yourself, right? So
Lifetime financial opportunity. Someone stopped barefoot on a hot dog, and yet John is the one who took it.
recognizing the relevance to you as to what like a skill or a lesson you're trying to learn is what's going to solidify you actually learning it, right? So I need you guys to just kind of do that as you're going through learning like these ideas. So that was just it. That was just it. So between listing out your assets and listing out your debts, that's your net worth, as far as where you stand as like a set number, right? Does that make sense? Why?
Not to interrupt, John, this guy's $7,500 an hour. You gotta start taking notes, brother.
Half this stuff I can't. I swear to God, I'm retaining you in my brain.
Yeah. Nah,
just-
he might be one of those
I
guys.
want
that's
everybody to be
listening.
aware of the flow of money through this room right now. Okay, we got a $2,000 prize. We got a $7,500 an hour consultant right now giving us his time. Let's just be conscious of the fact that the dollars are burning. Okay, Letty?
All right,
Two
so
at a time, sweetie. Come on.
here's like what I mean by think about what could be relevant about asset and debts as you're listing them out and you're typing them out on your Excel sheet is the debt interest incurred, okay? And then having that as its own column and recognizing how that's growing each month. If you're not tackling it, I can bring up a couple ways that I discussed how to strategize that besides the typical paying like the minimum you could on all your loans, for instance, right? Your minimum payment. How you guys like those hot dogs though so far?
Salty.
You don't like them?
No,
John, you gotta show your watch now.
Absolutely not.
Now we're going to
Alert
read it.
important financial advice. If you keep gambling, you will eventually win.
I mean, that's odds.
I mean, every time you wake up, right?
Every time you wake up, it's a gamble.
Yeah. That's right. If you don't have this, maybe you can set them aside, right? And then, that's what I said. Exactly what I said. But I'm just trying to be clear, like, without. I don't want to push you in
Oh
that
no!
direction.
I hope you all had raincoats.
You
You
could.
just entered the come zone.
As I said it, I wanted to be clear, right?
right?
And then as far as assets, just keep in mind, it's the shit that you actually are interested in is the shit you're going to follow.
Eating a
Right?
hot dog
So
will
that's,
reduce your lifespan.
so when you're like, oh, I'm making like
$100
$100 acting in a certain type of way for Sam Hyde, like, what's that really mean? I don't know what it meant for you guys, but like a new pair of
Make
clothes
these
is
guys
pretty
take an
cool
IQ
for
test
your
for
next
fish
event or
bucks.
some shit. That's something that stands out to me just on a hot fly, but that's not what the difference of what 1,000 to
Mr. Goldstrike,
100,000
how much
to
those threads cost?
the guy who's going to give you $1 million, where you're going to be with that person, right? So don't mix up
Red Shark, push this
that
guy
the
down
fact
the
that it went
stairs.
from, it started out as 10K, maybe some of those other guys weren't taking that seriously. Now they're not looking at a chance for 30K. So I don't know how intense this show's gonna get for you guys, but there's like 4 tokens on the line right here. As far as I understand, one of you runner-ups might get one. So imagine who's gonna fight for the runner-up position.
Comedians, do you remember what you told me in Taiwan in that thunderstorm, the monsoon? We were talking about what you would do. You start a
I got an
business,
message for you, bucko, more like ass hat goddamn.
you uproot your whole life, you start a business in a new country.
Yeah.
What are the steps? There's 10 steps that you laid out. I know you have, sub-steps. It's not that simple.
Sylvia's
But like,
OnlyFans
can you break it
is
down in a way
massive.
that they'll understand just the 10 basic steps?
Yeah, basically, yeah, so essentially, once it was
Jones,
like, okay,
you
I have
stop
a net
talking
worth,
Moneyball.
so,
It's a boring movie.
like when you take out, like, when I started going to college, and, like, doing the whole cancer research stuff right now, because that, like, came later,
These fuckers.
like,
Keep
like,
doing that.
right now I have a portfolio with the college that's, like, debt, right? But when I didn't have the debt, it was like, go get the business going. So, whenever I understood, essentially, man, you brought up Taiwan. That's funny.
I think about that every day
Man, Luke,
when I meditate.
this would have got me the job at the lab, man.
Yeah.
I wish it was like
20 years.
crazy. You know, he's like working in like
Hey,
California
finance
now.
bro, thanks for
I heard,
saving
yeah.
Kanye.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it's frustrating.
It's good that he was able to at least get into this country after all that government
Yeah, he helped me out with like
super spy shit.
getting better at
Tetris.
He's good at the seahorse machine at the lab.
Yeah.
You measure like the whole glycolysis and mitochondrial function.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's neither here nor there.
Nick,
Yeah. Am I getting off topic?
I was just going to ask, what are the 10 steps?
Yeah. No. Fair.
I don't think you finished the 3 connoisseurs.
Yup. Okay, so let's just be clear. The first one
I'm
is
trying-
basically
It's
tackle the net worth. Net worth.
Yeah.
Okay, between I just list
Check
out
Camino's pockets
your
like
assets
Mickey
and
Mouse and
debts,
Lizzie's while you
so
weren't
you
looking.
can tackle knowing how much like your actual like value is
Yeah.
between those 2 things, how it's changing over time, right? You're adding, not adding different things, and then we just want to be clear. You can make a budget based off of that, right?
Okay, so
Right.
budget.
Is
That's
budget
what-
step 2 or still part of step 1?
That was the relevance of having your net worth.
Okay.
So is it step
We're getting the
Okay,
Hustle
so if
University
I
lesson.
said your asset was like the shit you were interested in, that's why you're gonna follow it and grow it. That was the relevance
Mr.
of
Goldstinger
an
checked
asset.
Jersey
So when I
boots for
said
hot
like your
dogs.
net worth versus like your debt being like it can incur interest, so like that's what makes it relevant there, right? Because that's gonna hurt over time. My whole point is like your net
Who
worth,
invited
like
Brooke Malone?
the whole point of knowing that is so you can make a budget for your like whatever your project's at. So that's why Sam brought up the 10 steps. So like basically it's you gotta have your budget when it comes to doing like pumping money into yourself in order to get shit done. Does that make sense? So
Like you're investing in yourself.
excuse me. Yes, but also like just sustaining
Why does
yourself.
this teletype
Okay,
keep talking
okay.
about that famous heavyweight boxer?
So budget is number 2.
Oh
That's
no, it's
talking
part of the
about-
10 steps.
Okay.
Not to get too confusing. So you might need to start writing it like to maybe keep track of what the 10 steps might be. Besides the fact that everybody else is too. But if you kind of have a sense for like how to manage a budget, okay, maybe you could help with keeping track of.
Time up?
You know, it seems like this side's like doing that. I see you over there, Daniel. We got. I hope to God you guys eat as many of these as you can.
15 minutes left on the dogs. Chow time.
So, okay, budget was just the important thing.
That's for
why that was
$2,000.
important. And I was just trying
Who
to
needs the money?
That was what was that you could have wrote what I said as
What's it gonna be?
relevant to the
You gonna
budget.
win this?
Okay.
Don't let this guy fool you.
Before I
He
got
smokes
it,
dabs and scrolls 4chan viz all day JJJJJ.
So can you speak more about the 10 steps, please?
Right. So, just to be quick, what did we say was like?
No budget, relevant.
Oh, brother, this
I thought
is
step one was net worth. I thought that's what you said at the
No,
beginning.
net worth is a 3 connoisseur.
was one of the three like.
Okay.
Oh well, the net worth goes
if
to
you owe money
how
to
do
enterprise for
you
fucking up the
how do you
four-wheel
manage
drive,
your
don't pay
budget,
C.
right?
So,
So
what are
then-
the 3? It's net worth,
It's net worth was one of the 3 things, and then what was relevant of the net worth was that it
Chef
set up
Dan, do they
for
taste
you to
like
know what
shit?
your budget was.
Yeah, but
The
what
budget was one of the 10 steps. Let's
Okay.
just understand how those are 2 different things.
Yeah, but are you going to say the 10 steps first or the other
Punch this guy in
2
the
things in
throat.
the 3?
Yeah, right. I think what'll be cooler would be to just knock out the. Let me just double check that the other.
Chicken nugget stew also.
Yeah, let's just knock out the other 2 things because it's very, very simple. You literally cannot consider yourself having like extra money for like investing until you have like at least like $1,000 or like whatever your minimum
Is now the time to invest in big
like
hot dog
emergency
top
fund would be. If it's not $1,000, you're like at 2K. You need that set aside besides what your budget is and your net worth is, in order for you to like be able to invest in things. So that's number 2 as far as the connoisseur thing. So I don't want you guys getting mixed
Oh,
up.
so that's number 2 in the step 10.
Is having the $1,000 in the bank. So I'm just trying to be clear. 10 steps of a business is not going to have necessarily everything to do with your personal budget, right? They're separate. We're talking about the personal budget. And then the third thing was the matter of just how to tackle, how would you tackle debt if you had it, right? So, one of the things I had mentioned, as far as I was talking to the financial advisor, this is something that, Sam, if you have a story of how this affected you after I told you about it, go ahead and tell them. But when she said how I had the
Vance is stuffing wieners into
$10K
his
in
shorts.
one of
Take
the
off his
student loans
shorts.
versus $3K, her point was pay off that biggest one first.
Those boys, Vance and
So if
Damien,
you
are
were to
dog
not
gobblers.
pay
Nom,
off
nom,
any
nom, nom, nom.
loans,
FDA
if
this
you
month
had
said
them,
1%
make sure you're
hot
making
dogs
the
contain
minimum
some human
payment
DNA.
towards your biggest debt. Tackle your biggest debts, especially the biggest interest earners. So that means if you have 5% interest on $100K versus $1,000
This guy looks like
at
a Morgan retard. Sylvia is
30%. You're still paying the $100K over the $1,000, and the whole point behind that is 5% on 100K is going to hurt
Vance
you.
Damien has been sneaking
If I
hot
didn't
dogs
mess up
onto
the
your plate.
ratio
Check
that
your
much.
pockets too.
If that makes sense. We're trying to keep in mind what interest the highest value occurs APR, right?
Josie is hiding the hot dogs in her boots while you
right?
guys aren't paying attention.
So those are the 3 points that the financial advisor is trying to emphasize. That you gotta literally go ahead and have those all considered. So whatever I had my thing is very unique. I get paid like monthly with the cancer research, so it's kind of like, okay, how do I have like a plan for me getting 12 checks and getting my life together? You guys might get paid once a year for some reason. This is like after 6 weeks you might get paid if you win. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. You might not get any money if you don't win. I don't know what.
I'm making money right now at home.
Okay, that's sick. Yeah, I saw your card. That shit was tight. I believe it. But that being said, if you have the concept for your emergency fund, that $1,000, that was number 2, recognizing how you can tackle debt, you understand your net worth. Just understand that in the net worth idea with the budget, there was like
Nick, I have a bunch of rare YouTuber merch. Should I get my collection appraised?
different ideas that we gotta tackle. Someone just asked about merch. Did you hear that?
Yeah, they wanted they should get it appraised.
Is it a good business decision to destabilize African nations to sell more guns?
Wow.
Make a lot of money doing that. If you can make money.
Intense.
Let's not get into multinational tonight.
Yeah.
That could be
Hagrid
next
of Wall of Street, why
session.
the hell aren't you teaching us about Mondo Megabits?
You guys also need to have an automatic fund that you're just pumping into if you don't have it. That was the last,
John could teach
the
you a
last
thing or
point.
two.
5 minutes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it most definitely does.
What would that mean? Like, do you happen to have one by any chance? But in the sense of like, did you recognize what I meant by that?
So I think I have kind of 2 automatic funds. So right now I have a restaurant and my drop shipping website. And, it's neither of those things are really guaranteed. I guess you could say that, but it does produce income though.
Yeah, and you kind of just like, whatever this makes, it goes into this account. I'm just letting this grow.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really too worried about what I do with this right now.
Oh no, all the money I just reinvest it into new things and try to make it more.
How often is your automatic fund? Every month or?
For me, right now it's monthly.
Okay, so once a month.
Because I get once a check
Okay.
a month. So maybe check by check.
Yeah. Okay.
If it was that you could afford it. Having debt versus like actual
Mr. Finance,
assets
how do you start cleaning a lot of dirty
are
money
very
to trap
different
stablemen?
things. The function is, if the debt isn't a collateral against like some sort of like business that you're trying to leverage, that's where you're gonna really
This is iDubbbz. My wife can totally eat more
like.
hot dogs than
There's
you
no
guys.
value to your debt at that point. There's no value to you having debt, right? Because you're gonna be paying interest to somebody else.
But debt is kind of good in a sense. Like if you put in
John
fact,
doesn't need to eat these wieners, cause he
Keeps
got
you
that
working,
dog
too.
in him already.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you put in fact inflation, and tax, they keep adding taxes, and inflation keeps going up. So let's say instead of buying a house right now with $100,000, if you put it down for 30 years, well, in 30 years, inflation has gone up and taxes have gone up, but you're at a fixed price still.
Right.
So in a sense,
Eat, gag,
down the
bark,
line, you kind of get it for a cheaper deal.
Throw up, spit up, regurgitate.
I feel like I'm gonna.
I would say
I got that dog in
I
me.
would tackle that by whether or not
Probably 2 minutes, folks.
the market, where that market is.
Now's the
as
time to
far
make
as
your
its
mark.
Economy,
Yeah.
specifically.
No, yeah.
Specifically.
No, I agree with that.
Because the market economy of any real estate of any country
This is completely different.
completely
Advanced projectile
like
bombs
based
the
on like
backboard
its
jam
maturation.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
level
If
of
This
the
were me, I'd be double fisting dogs.
No, I
You got
agree.
2
Like, most
Gs.
countries, they don't have real estate agents.
Yeah, like
Throw up, it still counts.
that's a good
John,
point.
why don't you
That's
ask
very,
about that
that's a very typical
Oh, yeah.
problem that like I would say like probably prior to like 2008
Are those the expired hot dogs
could
Jet bought like 2
live
months ago? They
under
look the
that
same.
circumstance for
Yeah.
over like the last 200 years in
Yeah.
America. But it's definitely- but yeah, dude, real estate is cool like that. I get you. 30 years. I would say like
Please stop
the
talking
way that
and
really
feeding
works
dogs tarts.
is when you have like a family like estate
Yeah.
in like the sense that like it's passed through generations.
Yeah.
More like that. I think that's when you're really
Vance imagine a pile
winning off of
with chunks
inflation.
of sliced hot dogs.
That's not gonna be something you're gonna win off. You're never gonna win off of inflation unless you're the one collecting the interest.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? So let's keep that in mind. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
1 minute.
Dog, oh yeah, here we go. 1 minute. Final challenge.
So basically, guys, I tackled you with like the whole financial like advice that I got from market manager or money manager. Excuse me, sorry.
Elizabeth Carroll.
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah, baby. Game time. Yeah, sop it up.
so basically.
John's debt outlook matching Jason's makes me
Keep
no
in
longer
mind,
trust
guys.
Jesus.
Oh wait, hold on 1 second. Yeah, Sam, come here real quick. Let me just check in with you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Take the weed eater to the leftover hot dogs when they get
Guys, it's hungry for the money. But no stop, guys, keep going, keep going. Finish it. Get another one in. Get another one in, man! Shove another one in, guys, now! Shove it down now! You got this,
Daily
guys. Shove it.
increases colorectal cancer risk by 18%.
Time's up.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Red Guard, can you get the gritty for us?
But I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Josie, will you count them up for me? Count this one right here. Start with Letty's.
Oh my god. I think some of you guys actually tried.
Vance and Damien tried extremely hard. They were trying the hardest.
I think I ate like maybe 12.
I only ate
Well-
one.
Yeah.
That shit is nasty.
Vance, how many did you eat?
4 hit.
Nine?
These ones right here.
Shit.
24.
Glad I didn't do that.
You ever get tired of looking at it? I know you did.
Don't forget to contact me when I get out.
What's up?
Don't forget to contact me. Give me that info when I get out.
No doubt. No
Okay.
doubt. No, that's totally cool with me. That's
Okay.
totally cool.
25.
Definitely need
25.
to understand
Yeah.
what it is and then.
So there's 2 right there. That's his
Oh,
point.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Which one? Which one's Vance's
So,
plate?
my
This one.
grandparents, they
Okay,
built
so
the
count
house.
these.
My parents live in this.
Are these yours, Vance?
1970s.
Yes.
And it's going to be passed down to me. So,
Right.
is
Right.
that-
So, like, just okay. Let me just put it to you like this.
And it's about like 250,
An 8, 9.
Oh,
2,500 square.
2,500.
Jet and
Yeah.
Ben have to eat all of the left.
That,
over
that,
hot
that's
dogs.
as far as the
44?
property of the
Damn, how many
itself.
did you eat?
Yeah, there's like
Were you
5
counting?
bedrooms.
I wasn't counting when I was
That's,
eating.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's like
24.
How many 25? 24?
Cool. So,
24.
do you want to kind of understand it, like in regards to how like inflation,
Yeah.
like in it being passed out?
And we live right behind the house here.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a good part of town, you know.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Did
it's
you remove any from your
what's it
plate?
called? So many neighborhoods are like
21?
In
doctors
08, you had a bubble
and
in
Really?
the sectors. Too much this time. It is everywhere.
Cool.
like most of the houses in the neighborhood go for like
And you said they buy it like
300,000.
I had
the
13.
Because it's like normal
real?
pricing
Yeah.
for Oklahoma.
Do you know if the lawsuit
In
is over for
Lahaina,
FLP?
Oh no,
It's not?
no, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We can ask. We can maybe ask around.
Mario Fusco, Mario Fusco, Mario Fusco, Mario Fusco, Outer Heaven K3
The,
always wins.
So you were saying that that's the circumstance that you said they bought.
Did you move any
something?
off your plate?
No, they built it.
I don't think
It's
so.
my
Did you
grandfather
s-
designed
rolling
it.
around.
Did you see her move any off your plate?
Yeah.
You didn't move any off your
actually
plate?
own the properties
You had
before.
that was on your okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let's think about it like this.
All right. The girls won.
If
Really?
These two.
Let's see Letty's food
How
bake.
much did they eat?
Letty, you ate
if
12. Damiel had 13. Letty had 12. But divided by 0.8, which is the 20% handicap,
if like
brings you higher.
say
And Josie, same deal for you. You ate 11. Vance, you only ate 10?
Yeah.
You guys have like 400.
Jesus Christ, I
Was
got
there even an amount on each
$6
plate?
extra teeth. Daniel broke it.
I don't
The
even
size
know.
of
All right. I don't think anything more.
Well, sometimes I was eating
what-
two at
imagine
once.
how that would be.
Letty ate 12, which is 2 more than you.
Right.
She's
We
1
also
less than
had
That's
Daniel.
just the
I
house.
didn't eat.
That's not like
Getting
the.
crazier and
All right.
crazier.
That's not the.
Well, that's it.
That's
let's
not
get,
to say the actual land itself
Yeah.
that you guys also have going.
Can you bring up 5 fish bucks?
Which you know,
Thank
maybe,
you.
maybe you can't get sparsed out or something. You know what I mean?
Runner-up was 1, right?
100.
So how long have you been
Do you remember?
with the manager?
Runner-up was 1.
No, so I wasn't. That was like I was like
I think you
asked to
cheated,
do
but
that
that's fine.
with regards to the cancer research
That
stuff.
just seems suspicious.
I ended
Saw
up
me eating them.
trying to. like,
Yeah, well, it
let
wasn't
him
impressed
know
with
about
the rate that you were eating them at.
fish.
It's just my style.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's like they're expensive.
I don't think there's any way in hell.
So what happened is she
somebody
gave me this advice.
Are you
So
serious?
that's what I'm trying
If
to
the
say.
fans review the footage
If,
and find that this is so, these are the figures here. Letty ate 12, Josie ate 11, Vance ate 10, Damiel had 13, and the girls have a 20% handicap, which brings Letty to first position, Josie to second position. If the fans fact check that on the footage, we will reverse the decision and transfer fish bucks. But as far as right now, that's the way we're going to award it.
Make sure everyone
I
has
think
the
check
right
it
amount of
because
hot
I
dogs.
didn't count how many I ate, so they should check it. Because I do want it to be
Yeah,
fair.
check the footage.
You guys all approved of the 20%?
We did.
Bro, it's Jason's call.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the boss.
Yeah, dude, I ate a bunch of fucking dogs.
There's no way you ate 12.
I ate 13.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
I wasn't counting
You
that.
guys went
I
hard.
don't believe I ate that many.
I will say you are looking a little bloated. I will say that.
Dang!
So that might be true.
Yeah, so
Letty, I love the way you dealt with those dogs. Kinda brings the dog in me out.
Wait, how many did you eat?
I wasn't counting.
But what did he say? How many?
I think I had one more than one
Did
less.
Dominion do the
I-
counting of the dogs?
You had
Rigged
25,
sacked.
25 or something. I don't even know.
Oh,
Let me count these.
Maybe there was the miscounting on the plate.
2.
Vance is the goat Vance. Is the
Yeah,
goat
'cause when I
Vance.
was
Is the
putting on
goat
the plate,
Josie.
they were
Is the goat
also,
J J J
I don't think we
J
need a
J
poll.
J
Just
J J.
retroactively, swap it around. We'll hear back from the fans. Someone will count
Sit
it.
him on the counter.
I'm sure someone will. So we can swap that later. Tentatively.
Yeah, I think they were like rolling.
So we know who came in first at this point? And then
Someone hit a hot dog in their waistband.
who came in second?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. The count that we have.
Line Letty, line Letty, line Letty, line Letty, line Letty, line Letty.
Indeed.
How many did I
The
eat
count we
then?
have right now is 10 for
I
Vance,
didn't know how many
13 for
I ate.
Damiel, 12 for Letty, 11 for Josie. The girls have a 20%. They have to eat only 80% of what the men eat. If anybody counts this and runs the video back, we're going to swap these fish bucks around and punish Letty beyond belief.
Well, I didn't.
Let's move our conference
I don't know how many
upstairs.
I ate.
Caminos, let's take this upstairs. Punish Letty beyond belief. Punish Letty beyond belief.
Well, I didn't.
Let's move our conference
I don't know how many
upstairs.
I ate.
Caminos, let's take this upstairs.
Yo.
If you put coal under something that's dead, it will turn into diamonds. Also,
Everybody up here.
Facts.
Facts, John. Factual. Let's get this cozy. I think we just get cozy in here. So let's try to get everybody in here. Come on in. And this is like an Athens, Greece type deal, Caminos, like a grand, theme. I know it's not what you're used to, but
No,
I think it'll do nicely.
It is like that. Did you know in some of them you can like,
Oh
you can,
yeah,
like you hear them up there and everything like that?
yeah,
So just
absolutely.
be able to talk like, how you doing?
I know.
Seriously.
So I think we should go crazy with it. All right, guys. Time for a bathroom break. I need a bathroom break. We gotta clean this off.
Happiness is explained to me why.
Stepping on a hot dog, it's disgusting.
dog on table closest to mustard was Letties. GDJ. One close up.
What he was getting at, like those are two different ideas though.